Hey Sebbies, we're back here with lesson 12.6, and this is surface area and volume of spheres. So these, I think you found, were probably a little bit easier than, say, the pyramid and the cylinder and the prism to figure these out, because you don't have to do those multiple steps with finding the area of the base. With here, we're just taking the radius, or if we use the diameter and cut the diameter in half to get the radius of the sphere, and plugging it into our equation here. So you see the spectacular sphere that I've drawn for you. We have a radius of 6, and so we want to find the surface area of the sphere. Let's just say it's 6 inches. Okay. So we are going to plug the value of the radius r into our equation to find the surface area. So we will say the surface area, surface area equals 4 times 3.14 times 6 squared. And this is one of the things where I've seen some mistakes done, is that you have to make sure that you're not multiplying this by 2, that you're actually squaring it, so it's 6 squared. Okay? So if we go to the next step, the surface area, I'm going to just keep pi here, but 4 times 36 is 144. 4 times 6 squared. And so the surface area is 452.2 square inches. Okay, again, this is the surface area. This is the outside of the sphere, not the volume. We're going to do the volume next here. Okay, so 4 pi r squared is the surface area. All right, so let's do the volume of a sphere now. So we've got the equation of the volume of the sphere, which is the volume is equal to 4/3 times pi r cubed. Okay, this is a little new. We haven't had any formulas with a cube in it yet, so this is our first. So when we're doing this on the calculator, here's how I want you to do it. I want you to do, again, I'm not sure how good you are with your calculators with finding a cube, but you can always do your radius times radius times radius times 3.14 times 4 divided by 3. Do it in that way on your calculator, okay? And we'll talk about that here as we do this problem. So I'm not going to draw a sphere on this one. You remember, you don't have to have the figure all the time. But if I have a sphere with a diameter of 8, let's say 8 inches. If the diameter is 8 inches, what's the radius? Because that's what we're using in our formula. The radius is half of that, or 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and calculate our volume. So the volume is equal to 4/3 times pi 3.14 times, and I'm going to write it as 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, remember, that is r cubed. R cubed is 4 times 4 times 4. So let's go ahead and we'll just talk this one out. So our volume is equal to, I'm going to do 4 times 4 times 4. That's 64. I'll just make a little note right there. That's 64. So 64 times 3.14, that's 200.96. So I'm just going to write this here as a note to ourselves. Times 4, that's 803.84. Also notice I am not rounding, okay? I'm keeping these numbers as they are. So I have 803.84 divided by 3. So the volume comes out to 267.9467, or 267 0.9 as my volume. Okay, rounding to the nearest tenth. But again, remember that you don't round in the middle of the problem. You don't round until the end. Okay? So again, volume of a sphere, 4/3 pi r cubed. The surface area of a sphere, 4 pi r squared. Okay? So maybe go back and take a look at this again and do the problems with just the information that I gave you. These are pretty simple problems, but really practice them on the calculator, because that's the area that I saw the most mistakes, was in putting the numbers into the calculator correctly. Okay? So I hope you've had a good spring break, and I look forward to seeing everybody on Monday. You take care. Bye-bye.